Hello everybody, welcome back. Jordan here. Today we're going to be talking about the Lego house. What is the Lego house? Well, that's something that I brought up about 9 or 10 days ago, stating that we have the opportunity of making a Lego house. Essentially, taking our old property and filling it full of the collection and making a giant Lego city in different collection-based rooms. So I want to address that just because, I brought it up and some of you might be wondering if we're going to be doing this or not. And we've come up with this decision here based on all of the pros, all of the cons, and thinking of it for about 10 days, actually more than that. We've come up with the decision that we will not be doing the Lego house. And I just want to provide you some insight on why we are planning on not doing it, and also providing you with an updated plan of what we potentially will be doing as we move forward with the channel in the future in regards to our actual Lego space. So when we were talking about converting that house into an actual Lego house, which would be pretty amazing, don't get me wrong. When I first thought of the idea, I was 100% on board. I'm doing it. Guns blazing. Let's get this done. It's going to be absolutely incredible. That's me. I was like, yep, we're doing it. It's done tomorrow. And then I sat down with Jose. We made a list of pros and cons. The pros list was massive. It was long. The cons list was not very long, but there were some heavy cons. There were some heavy things on there that really have deterred us from wanting to do that. What were those main cons? Number one was security. My Lego collection obviously is worth a little bit of money and would be away from me. It would be in a different neighborhood, further away from me, and I wouldn't be living on top of it where I'm always here to monitor it and take care of it and make sure it's okay, right? Obviously, there's some security concerns with that because I'm not there. There's not somebody always watching over it. Of course, if we were to build a Lego house, we would put security cameras, we would put glass break, we would put bars in the window, we would put motion sensors and all sorts of stuff there, but that still doesn't prevent if somebody wants to get in there, and they will be able to get in there, and I wouldn't be able to do anything for a while until, whatever. Just security. That was the number one con. Not really. The number one con was actually accessibility. So the beauty of having my Lego room down here is that I can wake up in the morning and I can walk down here in my robe with a coffee and I can get to work like that right away. Also, I can get to work right away in the middle of the night. If I wake up or if I can't sleep and it's 9 or 10 or 11 at night, I'm like, I can't sleep. I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to build a quick Mills plate or something like that. I can do that. So accessibility is the main reason of why I want to leave the Lego down here. So then there was a bunch of people that commented on that video coming up with ideas or saying, you should do it. Let's do it. Rah, rah, Lego house. Let's do it. And I'm like, woohoo, we should do it too. I'm down. Let's do it. But then there's also a bunch of people that said, no, you can't do it because accessibility. You can't do it because of security. You can't do it with a bunch of reasons why you can't do it. And this is what you should do. You should sell that house and you should sell this house and you should buy a bigger house, or you should buy a property that has enough real estate so that you can build a separate Lego building. So then you could just walk out of your house and go to the Lego building, and there's where all your Legos. Sort of like a Lego barn sort of deal. And I agree that I really want to do that. So why am I not doing that right away? So I'm going to give you the reasons why. Because that house that I've had over there, I've owned it for 7 years now. And I don't know if you know Canada real estate, there's Toronto and like the Toronto area, and then there's the British Columbia area, like Ontario, British Columbia. I'm in the center, I'm Alberta. So British Columbia has done really well. Like the property values have skyrocketed recently. And Ontario, the property values have skyrocketed. Same with the Maritimes, and lots of places in the other regions haven't researched it directly, like Manitoba and stuff like that. But the property values have skyrocketed. So personally, from what I know has happened, is a bunch of people from Edmonton, I actually know a lot of them, have moved to Vancouver. It's a very popular thing to do. They moved from Edmonton, where it's the cold, frozen wasteland here in central Alberta, and they moved to Vancouver, where it's nice and warm pretty much year-round, although they get a lot of rain. And what's happened is prices of property in the Lower Mainland and in Vancouver have skyrocketed through the roof, so people cannot afford to live there anymore, and they're actually slowly starting to move back to Edmonton. So Edmonton's properties have just sort of not done anything, but they're actually starting to go upward now. So why do I not want to sell that property? It's because I've been holding on to it for 7 years, and I think it has the great potential to go up because it's actually closer to downtown Edmonton than this property. So I think that property is perfectly positioned, that it will have the potential to go up. So to sell it right now would be like the worst thing that I could do, because it would just not make any sense at all from a real estate perspective, because it's just not the right time to sell it. It has just flatlined since I bought it, and I think if I hold on to it for another 3 or 4 years, maybe once my 5-year mortgage is up, it's going to go up, and I'll be able to sell that property and maybe make a little bit of money on it so that I can fulfill my dream. So we could sell this house, and we could sell that house, and we could buy a bigger property that could support the Lego barn idea, but financially, I'm not really ready for that. Like, I'm not ready for that at all, because that just means a higher mortgage, higher expenses for me, right? It's just, obviously, a bigger property is going to have a bigger mortgage, which is a bigger monthly payment, so it's going to be harder on me and Jose. So I'm not ready to do that yet because of the potential of that property, and I'm not ready to do that yet because it's going to raise my monthly expenses, my personal monthly expenses. Although I will say that is my game plan. That was my game plan originally, and I thought we could get away from doing that. You know, I was thinking, do we really want to live on the outskirts of Edmonton and have a bigger property, and can we maintain that? Maybe we should just have the Lego house, and we should have our own place of residence right here, and maybe we should scrap that idea of building or having a big property with a Lego building on it. But now I'm really gunning for that idea. I really want to do that idea. I think having the Lego on my own property is going to be better. So we have scrapped the idea of having a Lego house. I don't plan on selling the Lego house because I think it has the potential to increase in value. And for right now, in this very moment of time, we are going to be happy with what we have here in the basement, which is lovely. It's got the Lego shelves going around the Lego city that we're converting to mills. And you'll see an updates coming up here right away. We've done some tremendous jobs. A tremendous job converting the Lego City to mills recently and making a bunch of space for growth. So we're going to be working on that. And we've got a lot of work for us to do here. And I think moving all of this Lego to the Lego house would just be insanity. And ultimately, it would be harder to access. And it wouldn't be as secure. And I'm just a little bit more comfortable in my own skin staying here, continuing down the same path that we're on right now, and then maybe later on in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, maybe we can branch out from there. But for now, we're just going to stay down here and continue doing what we're doing. So I just wanted to provide that update on the Lego house, if it's happening or not, and it is not happening for now. Yeah. Let us know what you think by comments below. Thank you so much for coming on by, and farewell.